This episode of Life After Injury has been brought to you by Fornos Law Firm, devoted to optimizing your legal results.
Welcome to Pushrim Life After Injury podcast. This is episode 12. I'm Ray Pizarro.
I'm Boris Del Cid.
And I'm Richard Bow.
We want to thank you guys once again for joining us for another topic of discussion here with the crew. Today on our show, we're going to be talking about technology and disability. You know, different things that affected us and made our lives easier that we never knew existed and developed over the years. So we're going to kick it off and let Boris get us off and let us know what different things he was exposed to. So Boris, what's up, bro?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks, Ray and Richard. Well, I like to just kick it off by saying the most important, single most effective and powerful tool that we have is the computer. Our computers are now the standard of what people with disabilities, of all disabilities, have an advantage to use for communication skills, for work, keep up with technology. So here it is, the example of technology that have taken us to the next level. We are definitely in need of all kinds of different apparatus, but this one is probably the most important one. Among the technologies that are included in this computer, we will have that Richard discuss some of these things that he is well versed on. Primarily, some of the things that we use on a daily basis to communicate, such as emails and texting and IMs and all that. We use it on a daily basis because we through pushrim.com we basically have all our audience communicate with each other and share information. So information is everything. This is the era of information at your fingertips. And that is the direct result of computers and the internet. Computers were in existence from back in the, early 60s or even earlier than that. But the internet has integrated the computer with the information that is available to us, and we have access to it. So being said, other interfaces that I have experienced, internet, computers, and the technology that help us. Among them, home technologies that make our lives easier. I got a good friend who is in that type of business, and we've discussed many times the availability of things that can be adapted in our homes to make it easier, such as devices that open up your doors if you can't open your doors with your own hands, based on your level of disability, specifically if you're an SCI survivor or victim. Doors open with click of a button or touch of a button, inscripted in radio frequencies that do not necessitate a key insertion. That's one of them. The other one, lighting, heating and or cooling, all those could be integrated into your home by a computer that works all these angles of daily living and can be accessed through your iPads or any other tablets that you may have. So as far as home is concerned, that's one of those things. I mean, the sky is the limit. If you want anything automated, you can have it done. Obviously, price is one of the limitations that may be a barrier for us. But there are some ways of getting those things financed or actually, backed by, local, government institutions and things like that. Another way that my life has been impacted, and I'm sure yours too, because we all have automobiles, my car has a hydraulic system that opens up the doors via a remote control that activates a hydraulic pump that opens up my doors, brings down my ramp, and makes it easier for me to get in my car, transfer into the driving seat and all that. In the car also the technology that we all use, those of us who drive, will be the hand controls. That is absolutely one of the most marvelous things that I've encountered. Giving back my independence by being able to drive. I know you drive, Ray, and you being a quad. And Richard is looking into it in the near future to get back to driving, gaining our independence by having the transportation and the ability to take ourselves to doctor's appointments, supermarket, movies, theaters, in general, restaurants, anything that we need to do. So
that's really invaluable. You can't really put a price on that, right?
Absolutely. If anything, if there was no computers, I would have somebody invent something that it will have my independence related to the way I get around driving.
Your lifestyle.
Exactly. So that being, one of the most important ones. Also, going back to, computers and the internet, I just want everybody to know that, via the internet, you can have, answers to all your questions, regardless of what type of disability you have. And there is a great website called disability.gov. And in it, you can find topics such as technology, in individual states or throughout the nation. Which state do you live at? That way you can find out what's available to you in there. In it also, you can narrow your topics about, technology or through the technology, job seekers, research is being done right now, federal government agencies that are related to our, disabilities needs, employers and human resources specialists, caregivers, all that.
Nice.
So, going back to, technologies, and Richard, I'd like to give you, pass the ball to you. You're the in-house computer geek, and, this topic real well. Richard?
Yeah, I do know it a little bit. Quick background, I started off in technology in the 90s as a network administrator first, yada yada. Anyway, I ended up working at an aerospace company that put me in a room and had me work on one of the first touchscreens because they needed more space on the lab counter for their to do their work instead of having a big computer and a monitor taking up most of the space.
But you were able-bodied at that time, right?
Yeah, I was able-bodied at the time. The technology was resistive touchscreens because I don't think capacitive touchscreens have been thought up yet. Those are okay, but for somebody with limited hand function, wouldn't be the best option.
Well, you're talking geek here. Could you break it down and dumb it down to me? Because I don't know what that stuff is.
Okay, all right. So, all right. Well, I'll fast forward to 2007. Apple released the first iPhone that had a resistive touchscreen. The difference between capacitive and resistive is capacitive only it uses the electricity in your body to coordinate the Y and X axis on the screen.
So when you touch it, the electricity, you make contact,
right.
It's kind of making a ground with the screen, and that's what makes it happen?
Yes, and it knows where you're touching.
Got it.
With resistive, it's just like it sounds.
The push.
Yeah, you push.
Pressure.
And there's a pressure sensitive map underneath the screen that does the Y-X. And for somebody with limited hand function and limited strength, it won't register correctly. And it's not as accurate anyway.
So the stuff that you have in your iPads now is electric one.
Yes.
Right? The one that you just touch like that and it makes a connection.
It's called a capacitive touchscreen.
Yes. There you go. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
So that basically opened up an entire world for people like me with limited hand function.
Right.
It's so much easier to browse the web, make a phone call, do a number of things, home automation. I've used it as a remote control for my audio visual equipment at home. And I mean, it works awesome.
And for those of us who do not know, what level are you of?
I'm a C5-6 quadriplegic.
Which means that you have limited use of your fingers, arms, hands.
Right.
And this type of technology makes it so easy for you to have access to information and all the projects that.
Right.
By the way, Richard, you've been involved in the building of our website.
Yeah.
Pushrim.com. And you did all that by the technology that was available to you?
No? Actually, when I was at Rancho, getting my therapy, they knew that I was an IT professional.
Mm-hmm.
So they, showed me the lab, and, I was, really disappointed,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak, because, the equipment seemed antiquated.
Outdated.
And, you know, I was used to working with, you know, more advanced technology
Right.
in my career.
Right.
So I was a little disheartened.
Mm-hmm.
But, I just, took to learning how to use the equipment I had,
Mm-hmm.
by using my knuckles to type, trying to use a mouse. Turned out, it was easier to use a touch mouse or one of the mouse pads on a laptop.
How long ago was this?
This was in 2002 when I got injured, 2003.
So 10 years later, the technology now allows
Yes.
you to do all this stuff without having to use these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. So now I can use the keyboard on my iPad. I can use my iPad to control my computer,
Right.
mouse and keyboard, you know, just by the touchscreen.
So basically you have now the impact of technology nowadays has allows you to do many of these things that you couldn't do 10 years ago because of the availability of the technology, correct?
Absolutely. And, yeah, so, and I keep looking for new stuff. Recently I went to E3
Mm-hmm.
to look for something that would make gaming easier for people with disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And, came across a wonderful company that makes these awesome joysticks. And it's, the website's horiusa.com. And, I tried it out there at the show.
How do you spell that?
HORIUSA.com.
Good.
And, I tried it out, when I was there, and, the buttons are so precise, and, they have great tactile feedback.
Arcade style?
And yeah, and it's an arcade style. Check out the website, and, they'll have all the, photos, of the joysticks. I haven't bought one yet, but I'm totally going to get one. I think Ray has one.
Yeah, I do.
But
You do?
that's entertainment, right?
Yeah, but it still allows
Technology.
people with limited hand function to be able to game with the best of them. So,
That's good.
so yeah, it helps a lot. And then something I was kind of interested in at Rancho that they showed me was Dragon Naturally Speaking software for the PC.
So it's commands, right? You
talk and it types what you talk.
Do you have to train that, right, for a little while?
Yeah, I actually ended up not using it because it was such a pain to train it.
Right.
But, being able to, I wasn't writing a book or anything, so typing with my knuckles was, you know, good enough for me.
right.
But, yeah, Dragon, for those who don't have, you know, enough hand function is a viable option. And their
Are there any other
website,
ones?
what's that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Give the website.
Oh, their website is, actually, Nuance, I believe, bought Dragon.
Right.
So the website's nuance.com/dragon, for those interested in checking that out. Now with, iOS 5 and 6, well, 6, if you have the new iPad, has
When you
dictation.
say iOS, you're talking about Apple's operating system?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they have voice dictation throughout the operating system now. So pretty much any app that requires typing, you could just speak, and it's pretty accurate. I'll say 98% accurate.
I have it in my computer. The other day I discovered it.
Well, iOS 6 is for mobile devices,
For the
right?
mobile,
For
the mobile OS.
not the actual,
Like the iPhone.
But OS X is the Mac
Desktop.
operating system.
Right.
And
that,
they just
yeah.
released which one is it?
Mountain Lion.
And Mountain Lion has the same thing in it, doesn't it? Right?
Yeah, it's pretty integrated, and they want to make it feel more like an iOS device with notifications and give it that fluid feel. So.
And then one more thing with iOS, there's also a software button for those of us like me that find it difficult to press the home button or the on-off button to shut down your computer or turn it off. All kinds of stuff you can do with the button. And they have programmable functions that I haven't figured out how to use yet.
And also Siri built-in voice commands too.
Yeah, that's
that
built into the iPad on iOS 6. The new iPad, I don't think the iPad 2. The third generation iPad and above will have it. Cool. And then Google's Android operating system has gotten so much better with Jelly Bean and the Google Now. I believe it's Google Now as their voice assistant. And they also have voice dictation too. And all of those are very viable options for those of us with limited function.
Cool. Nice.
What do you think, Ray?
Man, I think all this technology is hard to keep up with, especially how fast it's moving, and you got to really be on top of that or have a geek friend to keep you up to date on everything that's coming out on a daily basis. Things are always popping up, and you're like, whoa, really? Oh, okay. So you got to be up on your tech blogs, your Gizmodos, your Engadgets, and try to stay on top of the game. But a lot of people don't know the stuff we're sitting on. Actually, our chairs are a big part of technology,
Yeah.
as far as, usability, lightweightness of it, compact, the materials that they're made out of. Now they're incorporating a lot of carbon fiber and titanium in there that wasn't even thought of back in the day. In the 80s, they just gave you a big old clunker and send you home and good luck, brother. And now stuff has been so, advanced that just getting in and out of your car, transferring and bringing your chair in is giving people a lot more independence.
Yeah, too bad.
I
you kind of have to fight your insurance company to get what you need.
The technology is getting so fast
that the insurance can't keep up with it, right?
Exactly. And that's kind of bad because
unfair.
It's unfair. Yeah. People who need this technology, who can benefit from this technology, who can avoid conditions, and
prevent health issues.
Health issues. Exactly.
That's the thing they don't calculate.
Are being systematically denied access to these things by individuals who have got some power to make decisions that are adverse to our health. That will be another important
podcast, yes,
that we need to do and come out swinging at those
elected officials.
Well, not necessarily elected officials, because the people who make these decisions are employed by Medicare, Medicaid.
Right.
Individuals who, in my humble opinion, and this is not to reflect the opinion of Push Rim of anybody, me, Dr. Boris Del Cid, you guys don't know your elbow from your coccyx. Thank you.
That's well said, Boris.
Yeah, better said than I would have.
That's right. And you know what? It takes an army to make changes in this world. And the disabled community has been ignored for a lot of years. The ADA law passed in 93 or 94, I believe, has been ignored for many years. And it's time for us to step up and make some noise here, fight for our independence, and let people know that this stuff is it's something that we can't go without, So, getting back to technology, as far as chairs go and all this stuff. We're really living in a great country where stuff is available. Unfortunately, it's not cheap, and you got to fight tooth and nail to be able to justify your needs, and have a good therapist and doctor to write you up some good medical necessity
It
letters.
doesn't matter.
And
dude.
even that doesn't work sometimes.
Doesn't
You
work.
got to take it to another level as far
Absolutely.
as applying for a what is that called? When they
Appeals.
deny you appeals,
Well,
you got to
appeals.
go. You got to jump
You know
through
that
those
there's
hoops, right?
5 levels of appeal. I don't know if you know, but there are 5 levels of appeal, at least in Medicare. And these individuals who are doing these appeals and reviewing them, it's kind of unfair how this works because these independent appeal observers are hired by them. So
Right.
it's like that, the fox guarding the hen house. How ridiculous. Anyways,
It's
let's
a
not
big
go.
monopoly. Not getting off subject, but that's something we're really passionate about that we're definitely going to share with you guys
Oh,
on
yeah.
a later date.
Yeah.
And things will get heated because we got so much emotion built
Oh,
in
yeah.
behind that. But getting back to technology and how it affects us, there's a really great website you could tap into that I was a friend of mine told me about and looked into it, and they have a lot of great devices. You could connect with them on Gimp Gear USA, just like it sounds, gimpgear.us. A great member of ours, Mark Felling, is the president of the company, is a C5-6 quadriplegic, that is working hard to develop different, adaptations for people with special needs and different, extremity limitations. You know, he's focusing on innovating, simplicity, and striving to maximize cost efficiency too, because these things are not cheap.
No.
You know, and reliable and emphasizing ease of use, you know, which is very important. And he personally tests all the equipment. So how great is that? You know, that actual
Fantastic.
person that's a president actually giving a once over before he puts the stuff out.
That's a novel idea.
And I love the fact that he's a member of Pushrum.
He definitely, he is. And, you know, he comes in once in a while and checks out our forums. And I like to just have people, tap into his great website. And also in the website, there's different stuff like adaptive gaming, equipment, switches for the home, you know, different phones and resources like, you know, financing and loans for this stuff. Cause a lot of people don't know that there's definitely, organizations through the state and
Right.
and cities,
even private.
Hey, Ray, what's his name again?
private grants. Yeah. Mark Felling.
Mark, thank you so much for doing what you're doing, bro.
Good job. Keep up the good work, Mark. We're
You know what?
pulling for you.
One day, we'll like to have you as a guest, even if it is through, the technology available, Skype or anything like that, if you can't make it in person.
That's right. Once we get fancy enough and have enough proper equipment, because we're working with you know the bare minimum here with our video, but we definitely like to have you whenever you're in the LA area. Please hit us up on Pushrim and come on in and do a little segment with us. We'd love to have you.
You know, Ray, now that you just mentioned that, what we're doing, if our members only knew that technology has allowed us to do this, filming this with our phones.
Yeah. That's how far it's advanced.
Exactly. Our phones and iPads are the ones that are recording this show.
Believe it or not, we're recording with iPads and iPhones right now.
Absolutely.
That's our camera device. So if anyone's out there ever interested in helping us upgrade some stuff, we'll more than happy to accept your humble offer and
Yes,
and equipment
please.
to the show to, you know, make a little better production for everyone else that they're watching. So
We're using glues and sticks here to get this to you. So
basically, yeah, the only fancy stuff we might be is our mics, but you know, that's something else that we have to.
And we got that from really
Slow.
good. Forno Slow was one of them.
One of our sponsors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Forno
United
Slow.
American Mortgage, and a lot of individual
A lot
friends.
of our members that
and
help
members.
us, participated in our push drive.
By the way, pretty soon we're going to be doing our next, push drive for this year. So those of you who are listening and have been paying attention to our podcast, our annual push drive will be coming pretty soon. We'll let you know.
right.
Go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt.
No worries. That's invaluable information that our audience should know about. So, I mean, there's tons of websites. We're going to try to bring you guys a website of the day. Today was our first iteration of that. We also gave you another, cool website that Boris had to share with us. And, in closing, we'll just, bring you guys more interesting topics down the road. Rich, can you, just share with our audience where they could find us online?
Absolutely. Our YouTube channel is Club Pushrim. You just go to YouTube, punch in Club Pushrim, one single word in the search bar, and all of our videos will pop up. Feel free to leave a comment or subscribe. We'd love to hear from you.
Cool.
Also, remember to follow us on our social network at pushrim.com. Or should I say .com?
That's right. And we're on iTunes, so do a search for Pushrim, and you could find us and take us on the go into your mobile device and enjoy. And in closing, we like to thank our viewers, our audience once again for sharing our topics with you guys. And one thing I want to leave you guys with is there's always life after injury.
Absolutely true.
So keep on pushing forward and make the best of it and share your experiences. So in that, we say goodbye until next time.
Thank you.
Right on,
Peace
right
out.
on.
Peace out.